Corporal Randall here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. I'm at my end of my wits on this, and it's possible that I will have a personal story to talk about in the near future that directly tracks with today's topic. Facts versus feelings. Or another way to put it, the truth versus narrative. I'm going to paraphrase Ben Shapiro and say, facts don't care about your feelings. What does that mean? Simply put, the facts of the matter, whether they make you feel good or bad, don't matter. All that does matter is what are the facts. So at the end of the day, the facts may not make you feel good, but we can all accept that facts can't be changed. They're not malleable. As a Marine, when I was deployed, I would often have people come up to me and tell me stories that they heard about me or something I'd done. And I'd listen to the stories. Sometimes I'd say, hey, this took place, but this is what happened. This is where you're wrong. Other times I'd get told stories about things that happened involving me, and I have no clue where they got the story or what. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know the people that were involved. Only tangentially knew them maybe. The normal way I would approach this is I would listen to the story, try to clarify what I can, and I would give one of two closing statements. Option A, my life sounds far more interesting when I hear other people tell it. Or option B, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. So how does this tie into today? Simple. People I didn't really know or didn't know me very well had feelings and opinions about me. I'd done nothing to warrant the feelings and opinions often, but the powers that be had a narrative to push. For whatever reason, me and them may not have been, let's say, on good terms. So they used their power to push a narrative that no matter how much the facts deviated from what they were trying to push, that didn't stop them. That actually made them dig in harder. Now is as good a time as any to like and subscribe. That made them far more vigilant in trying to prove their narrative correct based on the fact that they didn't have any facts. Today, the media likes to do the same thing on a much bigger scale. They have a few tricks to do it, but one of their main ones is take a story that is lacking information, limited specificity, and fill in whatever it is they don't know the answer to with their editorialization. So if they don't know what happened, we'll just fill it in with our opinion. So the narrative will be written based on what we think happened, not what we later on proven as being factual. Will that change anyone's mind? Probably not. Why? Because a narrative is out there. So once you get the narrative out there, that's all you need to set the table. Most people don't look at a lot of news. They get their opinions from Facebook, Instagram, something like that. Generally, something one of their friends who they trust has posted based on something one of their friends has posted. So you get the game of telephone, but world events edition. That's what happened a few years ago with regard to the whole hands up, don't shoot movement. According to the media, Michael Brown was a gentle giant who had done no wrong. All he did was try to walk with a friend, and a police officer came, assaulted him, and then when he put his hands up in the air, signifying his surrender, the police officer shot him as the boy cried, hands up, don't shoot. Everything outside of him being shot in that narrative was a lie. All of it. He never had his hands up. There was never a hands up, don't shoot. He assaulted the cop after he had just committed a robbery, attempted to take the cop's weapon, charged the cop, and then was shot. Don't take my word for it. Take the DOJ's word for it under President Obama. Why did I say DOJ under President Obama? Somehow I feel like if we went with the grand jury or anything like that, I'd just be told, oh, they're biased and they made it up. So hopefully you can trust your boy. Oh. This led to the first rise in crime in many major cities in decades. It even came up with a name for it, the Ferguson effect. What it did was it got good law enforcement officers to stop attempting to do their job for fear that they would eventually become the ones that were the victims in all of this. They're going to be turned into the enemy, the criminals, just by them doing their job. Another approach is to take a story that has some level of fact and warp it into what you want it to say, not what it actually does. This can be seen in the 1619 Project that the New York Times published. It essentially said that everything that America has, everything America has done, was foundationally wrong because it was built on the backs of slavery and oppression. Now, it won a Pulitzer Prize. Hell, the writer even won a second Pulitzer Prize for the intro. Only one problem is, historians on both sides have come out and pointed out how absent it is on facts and how heavy it is on rhetoric and opinion. So much so that one historians that the author went to for information actually came out and said, I informed her that everything she was writing was incorrect and even told her how to fix it, but that didn't matter. For the media, facts no longer matter. So gaslighting, lying, covering up, that's all fine because you can't let the facts get in the way of a narrative. They have a narrative they want to push. And no matter how factually incorrect, they don't want to let off the gas. They see this as a means to an end. In certain cities, certain communities, certain families, certain people. We can't continue to accept this. You want to find out just how often the media is wrong? Do this experiment. Read an article on something that you have a lot of knowledge on, something you're an expert at. Figure out how many times in that article they were wrong. You know they're wrong because you're an expert in the area. Now think of it this way. If they're wrong that much based on something you already know, how often are they wrong on the things you don't know? But you're accepting it as fact. Don't forget to like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Tell a neighbor, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. Corporal Randall, out.